Hi everybody, this is Colleen Wheatmartian with your Literary Prose and the Write Academy. I'm excited to join this challenge this month because video and speaking is a little bit of a challenge for me, but I am a professional speaker. I just became a professional speaker, and I talk about helping people take their business to the next level, moving from 6 to 7 figures. And I'll be sharing information about that through the month. And also, as a professional, I am also the owner with Peter Wheatmartian of Your Literary Prose, and I'm a professional author assistant. So we take people and authors, writers through the publishing process, anywhere from manuscript creation through publishing, through marketing their book, and we can help people with that. And then also, back last year, about a year ago, we joined forces with Joyce Bliss of the Write Coach and Peter and I, and we developed the Write Academy. And the Write Academy is a subscription program which we developed the 4-step writing process and the success path. And what it does is we help you clarify, create, complete, and connect with your book. So I'm going to talk to you today about those 4 steps in our success path so that you can just learn a little bit about the Write Academy today. So through the rest of the month, I'm going to talk to you about editing and writing tips, and also about my signature speech I'm working on, which is taking your business from 6 to 7 figures. So I hope you enjoy the month. I'm looking forward to it and becoming more comfortable on video and everything else. So welcome, and here we go. I'm going to talk about the Write Academy Success Path today. So we developed the Write Academy Success Path really out of frustration from ourselves, from our own frustrations about writing. And so we talk about, like I said, the clarify process, the creating process, completing process, and then the connecting process. And during the clarify stage, what we do is help you gain clarity on your vision and what you want to write about. Because if you don't know what you want to write about and you don't know your vision, it's really hard to develop that book and figure out who you want to write to and who your audience is. And that's very important when you start your book or begin writing your book. And then you also, in clarifying, you create your framework for your book. So it's like building a house from the bottom up. You have to have a framework and know what you're doing. So you can create an outline, which is very easy. It does not have to be complex. I don't do formal outlines for my writing, but I know a lot of people do. But we help you do the outline process in the clarified process of the Write success path. So, and then what's the outcome for your reader? You need to know what you're writing to your reader and who's going to read it, so that they have a successful ending for themselves. So, say you are an expert in I'll say, like for me, so I'm an expert editor and proofreader. So if I want to write a book about not making mistakes or what you need to do to put out a professional book, and I want to talk about the editing and writing process, then I need to make sure that I'm answering those kinds of questions for the reader when they're reading my book. Or what's the use? Why would they even want to read my book? So that's about the clarify process, kind of what we do through that. And then the create process is just writing. We call it write, W-R-I-T-E, versus write, getting it right, R-I-G-H-T. So really, during this process, what you want to do is just sit down and write. And what we suggest doing is having a writing process, a plan. And we actually have a writing planner you can download if you'd like, and I'll give you that information later. But find a place every day that you like to write. I have a sunroom out in our back area, and I like to write there. That's where I feel creative. So find a time, the same time every day, and the same place where you feel like you can be creative for writing. It doesn't have to be a book if you're not writing a book. For your blogs, for your email newsletters, anything that you need to write, find a place where you feel creative. If it's not at your desk, I like to get away from my desk because it can drive me crazy just being at my desk all day. So I like to get away from my desk when I'm writing and feel more creative. And then, like I said, create a writing plan to complete your project. We developed a writing planner, and it's a monthly planner and then a weekly planner. So you can plan out what you want to write each day, And then you can have a monthly planner for what your goals are for the month. For the weekly planner, say you want to write 800 words a day. Then you can put on that Monday through Friday that you want to write 800 words a day. But say you know on Friday you're going to be out and you want to spend time either with your family or you have a business meeting and you know you're not going to be able to get those 800 words in on Friday, you can rearrange your plan and divide those into 4, so it would be 200 more words a day that you would write, or you could get it all in one day and write 1,600 words a day. So your writing plan is meant to change. It does not have to be strict. The biggest thing is commitment. What are you committed to do to get this book out or your blog out, your email newsletter sequence out? It's commitment. So that's what we want to try to help people understand, that you can plan, but plans can be adjusted. It's the commitment that you want to make. And then also developing your voice. We just did one of our training sessions this month, in month 7, was developing your voice, finding your voice. And we went into a lot of detail about that. And finding your voice is important. How do you want to be known? Do you want to be more technical in your writing, or do you want to be more conversational in your writing? And you can intertwine the two, but it takes a bit of experience to do that, because you want to keep your reader engaged. And in order to do that, sometimes it's great to be able to take the conversational and the logical and intertwine them, especially if you're doing nonfiction writing. But that's one thing that we help you with, is developing your voice and knowing how to do that. And then we move on into the create process, where, I'm sorry, I already talked about that, started that with your plan and developing your voice. So then after you've created the manuscript or your blog or your series of blogs or your email content, you want to complete it. So that's reviewing your work. And especially if you're writing a book, you want to save your pennies for an editor, a professional editor and proofreader, because this is your professional image going out there. And so you want to make sure you spend the money, save your pennies for a professional editor and proofreader to work on your book. And we talk about that in the create process. The complete process. I'm sorry. I should not say I'm sorry. But anyway, I try to be too perfect. And my coach tells me, don't worry about it. Anyway, so review your work. And then during the complete phase, we also talk about whether or not you want to self-publish or traditional publish your book. And there's pros and cons to each, and we talk about that very much through the process. We go into a lot of detail about the pros and cons of self versus traditional publishing. And you make the decision about this time which way you want to go, and we help you decide or give you the information we know, and we can help you with that. But in all of these sessions, we go through a lot of information. It's a month-by-month thing, and I'll go into that in just a second. But then another important thing you want to do, even really before you pick up the pen, is connect with your audience. It's really important to build your list. Peter talked a little bit about this on his video today. We're partners. He's my son, and we are in business together, and he talked a lot about building your list, because you need a list in order to build your business. And like he said, social media can take down your video right away. It can take down your friends, people who liked your page right away. So doing an email newsletter or building your list another way is really important. So you want to try and make sure that you're building your list some way. And we go into doing that with how you can connect and market to your book or your blog, whatever, to the world. And then connecting with influencers. Who do you know that has a podcast out there? Or who do you know that are different bloggers that could blog about your book or about your blog, or connect with you, and maybe you could JV together and do something like that. Also, another important thing is that you want to get your list out there and connect with your reader. Make sure you know who your reader is so that you can connect with them. Because if you don't connect with your reader, after mom and dad and your family, cousins buy the book, who's really going to buy your book? And you're all experts and you all have a story. So this is really important that you do connect with your reader, get that list built, because after your family and friends buy your book, no one else is going to do it if you don't have that list. And so that goes a little bit over our success path that we created. And if you'd like more information about the Write Academy, go to www.thewriteacademy.com. And that's today's video, August 1st. I made it through. Not perfect, but that's okay. And I'm going to be talking more about, like I said, Your Literary Prose, our company, and also how you can move your business from 6 to 7 figures. And thanks for joining me today. I'll be sharing this in the Facebook Live group. And another thing I'd like to say is if you have any tips that you'd like shared, editing, proofing, writing, how to take your business, what you need to do to take your business forward, share those in the comments here, and I will be happy to answer any of them. If you have any questions you need answered, I'd be happy to answer those. And if you're looking for an interview, if you'd like me to interview you one of these days in August, I'd be happy to interview somebody who is a writer, an author, an entrepreneur, or even a speaker. So touch base with me and we'll see what happens. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.